How's it going, guys? Welcome back. So today we're on Fjords, and I am platooning up with my younger brother Bullet. We're a pair of light tanks. So we start this match, and I happen to be talking and not paying attention and end up where light tanks shouldn't go. I should have been up north with him, because down here is definitely not the most conducive place on this map to running light tanks. So I recognize this. I holler at him and say, hey man, I'm going to run down to the point. I'm going to spot up the enemy team. That way we'll all know where they're going, and then I'm going to turn around and come back up there and play like I should be playing. So headed down the coastline here, about to get to the point when a not very wise light tank on the other team comes rushing right up the middle. So we have our first victim. Turn around to help this other light tank knock him out as quickly as possible. And yeah, he obviously recognized that he had messed up and was trying to get back to safety, but just didn't make it in time. So head on down to the point, thinking, gonna take a look around, spot these guys, see what's happening. I run into that rock there because I'm analyzing the mini map at this point. I'm paying more attention to it so I can see how the game is developing, so I can respond to play on the field at the time. And as I'm getting down here, because my brother's basically newer to the game, I'm letting him know things about the maps that you need to know. Like on this map, where the arty almost invariably always go. So I'm telling him, hey, I'm down here. If I can sneak through the town, even though it's way too early in the game to do this, I might be able to go ahead and take arty out of play. So I noticed the light tank creeping up, and he's starting to play peekaboo with a heavy tank, which is not very bright. So I think, hey, I'm going to come down here. He's got the heavy tank's attention. So why not park it down here, see what's going on. The heavy tank can't spot me yet, but he's about to proximity spot me. And if you don't know what that is, make a note in the comments. I'll be glad to explain that to you as well. So once I realize he's moved up on the light, it's go or run, one way or the other. Either way, I'm running. I'm running for the arty or I'm running back. So I'll make a break for it. Catching fire between the houses. I'm trying to stay tucked in between the houses to minimize getting fired at. I'm swerving here because I know he's got a line of sight on me at this point. Cut back, running a few houses. I'm not the best light tank driver in the world yet by any stretch of the imagination. At this point, I'm amazed I've stayed alive, and I'm thinking, hey, any second now, yep, hey, there they are. So I put a shot on this first one, and he bails off into the water out of fear. Looking at this second one, I'm running straight at the building because I don't want him knowing which side I'm going to go until the last second. That's very important, so he has the least amount of time possible to set up to shotgun you. So I'm putting shots in him. Didn't reload in time to get the final one in. I'm laughing hysterically at this point. Telling my little brother what's just happened. Arty's off the playing field, although they're not dead yet, when the light tank comes in, and I have no choice. Well, if I'm smart, I have no choice but to take him out first. I'll deal with the arty in a minute. As you can see, they're down there dog paddling, talking about their day, out of the game. So I finished this light tank off here. Made a bad shot right there. Should have waited a little bit. Set up, pause against the border, get the right shot, get him eliminated. And so I'm sitting here now looking at the mini-map and analyzing my situation. I'm thinking, oh man, we are down. I've got, my teammates are scattered. They've got a significant advantage. I want to kill the arties, but they're taken out of play, so why bother at this point? Why risk it, getting shotgun when you lean over the edge? Or possibly other teammates coming up on you, his teammates coming up on you while you're doing that and being at a disadvantage. So I'm making my decision about what I'm going to do for the rest of the game. And basically, there's no need in watching the rest of it because they overwhelm my teammates and they're coming after me. So let's look at it from a different angle because I want to give you guys some takeaways here, things you can learn, things that you can apply to your game so that you'll get better and perform better, get more wins, get more damage. Everybody's happy, right? You're already at a distinct advantage by watching videos. I spent probably a year playing the game before I even bothered to look it up on YouTube, and that was a huge mistake on my part. So in this situation, you'll notice I run into my teammate. It looks inadvertent, but in reality, I chose to go ahead and hit him so that I could come to a complete stop more quickly. Why, might you ask? Well, in this game, the aiming reticle bloom that you have has 3 different sizes. One is based on how the fact that your tank is moving. One is based on the fact that your turret is traversing, and the other is when you are sitting still. Now, obviously, you want that circle to reduce and get as small as possible as quickly as possible. So if you are coming to a slow, steady stop, that's going to happen a lot longer. The quickest way to get that circle as small as possible is to stop as fast as you can, make no movement, and then it's going to get down as tight as possible, as quickly as possible. So use your emergency brake, use a teammate, use a rock, whatever you need to do. When you need to make a shot that counts, come to a stop first. Now, we're coming around the corner here, and the light tank's about to do his trade-off with a heavy tank. And the one thing I want to talk to you about here, and I mentioned it before, about proximity spotting. If you'll notice when you're playing, there's 2 rings around your tank. The inner ring, the real small dashed ring, is your proximity spot distance. So once somebody comes within that distance, you get spotted regardless of whether they can see you. You can be on the opposite side of a house from them, you're still going to get spotted. So this is basically like if you were hearing a tank. You don't have to see a tank to know it's there if you're close enough to it to hear it. So that's kind of the concept Wargaming was going for there. So at this point, I'm getting a little nervous because I know he's getting close to proximity spotting me. And once I know he kills my teammate, I know I'm about to be on the map whether I like it or not, which forces my hand. So at this point, I have to commit to the crazy idea of taking the arty out of play, and I make a run for it. Now, another takeaway here, and I mentioned it briefly earlier, is when you are approaching arty, if you let them know which way you are going, you've made a mistake. Arty's bloom gets huge when it traverses, when it turns left or right. So that's what you want to make them do. Make them be inaccurate. Never come dead on at an arty unless you've got something between you and him, which I do here in the form of a house. So I want to stay dead on at him until the last minute, close that distance, and then break off left or right. Whichever one you choose, up to you in the situation at hand. Either way, you're minimizing the chances of you getting shotgunned. The way I came at these arties left them no choice but to either die or go swimming. So now that I've got them down there dog paddling and making them think about how evil they are for playing arty, their light tank brother comes in to try to save them. And this is when I turn my attention to him to work on him, because I've effectively taken 2 arty tanks out of the game at this point. Now I'm trying to eliminate my second light tank to eliminate more of the enemy team's eyes. So I get him dealt with, and I pull up to decide, what I'm going to do at this point. As you can see, arty's down there trying desperately to stay alive. One of them doesn't make it, gives up. The other arty, my regret of this game is he actually makes it to the end of the game and lives through this whole ordeal. But the fact that he had to dog paddle for a couple of minutes, that just makes me happy. So anyway, like I said before, the enemy team comes down on us, overtakes us. Nothing we can really do at that point, and it's a guaranteed loss. But now you've got some information you can use to take arty out of the game and give him a much worse day than he could give you. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, please bless me with a like and a subscribe, and we will catch you guys later.